What's going on, everyone? We're live right now. It is midnight after midnight. Oh my goodness. You can
Dude, that
see
game.
my face that I'm sleepy, but I'm so glad we stayed up for this, Mark.
It is so worth it to be upright. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. After the first half, I was struggling to find positivity because we just didn't play well. We didn't look good.
No.
Sloppy. I felt like we really, really, really were missing Lamont Butler. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
my goodness.
we
Yes.
needed him on the court. And I'm gonna be honest. Oh man, the adjustments Coach Pope made and the resiliency that our players showed.
That
Love
zone.
it.
I'm sorry, guys. My hair is really bad. You can tell it's Sunday. But yeah, that 1-3-1 zone defense that they played, I'm not gonna lie, you can see my TV, it's messed up. I was playing 2K as well while watching the game. It was great. You know what? It's pretty bad. Let me do this. Oh, there we go. Now we're much better.
Hey, that's my
So,
hat.
um, I don't know.
It's still my hat. No matter if
but
you flip it backwards.
yeah, missing Butler definitely showed up in the first half. Guys, please get in the comments. Tell us what you think about this. We got so many people already watching right now. Butler not there hurt, but going to that zone helped so much. I think what Gonzaga shot like 30% from the 3-point the second half. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
they hit two big ones right there late, and I was like, "Oh my
Yes.
gosh, they've not hit all night long."
And then the nerve for us. I mean, that was a great play that Pope drew up at the end of the regulation. Like,
Yeah,
coming
we
with,
got two good looks at the end of regulation. We just couldn't get it to drop.
yeah. I mean, away, I actually think was throwing the lob. I don't know what you think, too. The big man came over, so he's trying to get it to, I want to say, Williams on the other side, and he just made a play and was able to knock it out. So I wish he would have had a shot at. He made the right read. It's just he made a great play, so that's just awesome. But to come back in Carr to miss 2 free throws like that, and then be able to make the play
Come back
at
and
the
poke the ball away.
yes,
Yeah,
thankful
I
for
mean,
that. Very Justin, yes, of course, huge turnaround. Would love to know what Pope said at halftime in the locker room.
and I'm
Pope.
really glad to see Carr. I tell you what I was really impressed with Carr is like he did not have a great game against Clemson,
No,
and he turned around. He didn't even have a good first half here, but he turned it around. And let's just be honest, he did what we needed to have done. And another thing, like Jackson Robinson being able to take over at point guard when that's
yes,
a position that, he's not been playing all year long. That was impressive.
that was he did well. He did well. I cannot lie on that. I'm trying to
And
actually
I
go and look
honestly,
at
I'm
stats.
not turning on a light and all that stuff. Honestly,
No,
Kerr, I'm a little concerned about him because I thought he was just cramping up some.
yeah,
Um, I thought it was just cramps, but man, he didn't come back in.
no, he really. I mean, who knows what that was exactly, but yeah, because I even thought while we were playing Xbox, you was talking about cramps. It's like, wow, he's just kind of laying there. You ought to be fine. But they worked on him quite a bit actually. So who knows? We'll have to see how it goes and see what's going on. Of course, Robinson shot 7 of 15. He shot the most shots out of anyone. 2 of 5 from the 3-point, only 2 free throws, but made both of them. Finished with 18 points. Carr led us with all points with 19. So we got 19 with Carr, Jackson with 18, 13 for Away, and 12 for Williams. Williams finally started showing up a little bit, having a presence in there. Mark, we badmouthed him some with
Well,
our headsets on, but there's times
well,
where
let's be honest. There are
lack.
times where he needs it because there are times when he plays very sloppy and nonchalant and kind of lazy. And you
Yeah.
can't have that if you want to win.
No, you can't. But hopefully he'll put that together and try to. And oh wow, Mark, I ain't brought a single comment. I was trying to look this up, but I'm glad you got them going. Did you bring
Austin
all of
says
them
this
in?
turnaround. Yeah, Austin. Yeah, I've been bringing it up one at a
Okay.
time.
Okay.
Austin said the turnaround for the entire team from Clemson. They corrected everything. I really feel like in that second half we did. We made a lot of changes that helped out. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like Austin. He thought he was going to the back, and then he just left. That's what we were talking about, a Kerr right there, and it's kind of what we were thinking too. I was like, I was waiting for him to come back in because usually with cramps, they usually pop back in there. But man, I'll be honest, I feel like it's kind of like, when we played Western and when we played Clemson, the physicality kind of got to us a little bit. And I feel like at first the bigs for Gonzaga were just kind of having their way with us in that first half. I don't know, like we couldn't stop the dribble drive. It was, I want to say it was almost kind of like the Duke game. You know what I'm saying? We just had a bad first half and we're able to turn it around. And I mean, this was the worst first half than the Duke game because, I mean, we were down by 16. We were down by 18 at one point.
I mean, legit, my dad, your dad, our dad has said many times, any game that we're playing when he coached, whatever, said, you got to have it at single digits going in the half. You got to cut the lead. Even you said it while we were talking or watching.
Well, I said if I want us to have it at single digits before we went to half.
But we didn't. I mean, honestly, I would continue to watch the game. I didn't want to watch the game, but I continued to watch it thinking, well, I love this team. I'm going to support, but we look cooked right now. They never gave up. Like if this, well, I don't even want to bring up old situation. Let's just focus with this one. This team showed fight and desire to win. And like Coleman was saying, he was complaining about Amari. We were too first half. Second half, he made some.
It wasn't just Amari. We were complaining about a lot of different things.
We were. I personally said I like Garrison better than Williams. Williams has the talent, but Garrison has that hustle. And Williams showed some big steps that second half. Now he's got to put in a full game like that. Mikey says this team keeps proving that they have lots of fight the whole 40 minutes for sure. And then Austin said 100. Oh, go ahead. 175 game wins with Gonzaga up by double digits at the half.
Yeah, I think the last time that they had been plus 10 or more at halftime and lost was in 2015 against Arizona.
Okay, wow, 2015. Justin, we would have too, but we were playing.
You're not the only one. Like when we came back and we started battling back a little bit, though, it just kept drawing my attention. And then plus Jared was messaging me like crazy.
Of course,
I was like trying to keep track of that, and then I tried to get him to jump on here with us, and he goes, "I'm out celebrating." So,
yeah. So I mean, it was great because we kept watching, and I know you guys probably felt the same way as us, but it was like 4 points, 6 points. We couldn't get past that to get it to a one possession game. Gonzaga kept answering back. Of course, we know they're a good team. They just kept scoring at will when they needed to, and then Kentucky finally got it. And got that lead, and then it almost looked like we were coasting for a minute, especially in the overtime. Yes, Caldwell, that's awesome that we beat them because we should not have been.
Man, I think
and Duke as well.
What got me frustrated in that first half, man?
Mark Everett, comeback Cats. Comeback Cats again? Is that?
Yeah, I think comeback Cats is back. It's made a comeback, but. What I'm going to say is, like, in that first half, we were forcing some unnecessary shots. Like
we were shooting because we were open.
Yeah, well, no, we weren't even open on some of them. We were just squaring up and throwing it at the basket. Like it, and I agree.
Yes, Paul.
Yes, I agree, and I agree with Lisa right here. I had it. Well, we keep playing tag. They finally decided to play some defense in the second half. Yes, they did.
Going with what she's saying there with that defense, prior years, we never would have went to a zone. This team was struggling. Gonzaga was better on man-to-man offense against us, and we made a correction, and we proved that we can make in-game corrections with this bunch. So I love that. The first half, we played like Charmin. Yes, we were soft.
Alan, I don't know. I'd more like say we played like the stuff that goes on Charmin in the first half.
It's
because we did it was a little bit of everything to it. It wasn't just one player, and it was almost like, I don't know if you noticed this, a lot of players seemed to slip tonight. Like Owe, it was like he could not get any traction when he would break to the basket.
Robbie says it's the replacements, not the comeback Cats. Jonathan said the winning formula Kentucky needs to play with playing with physicality and playing as a team. Absolutely.
Listen, there are a lot of people at halftime bad-mouthing Kentucky.
Of course. And we talked about it. Like, there's those fans that after we lost the first game, the one game, we've only lost one now, that we're already saying Pope's not the guy. Like, for some reason, Kentucky feels like we have to be undefeated, and it's never happened. We got to get a little more realistic. So I'm really glad that we fought back. It's a big win for us just because we came back. That middle pick and roll in the paint was killing it. This team is the replacements. Again, Robbie coming in with that.
And what I love, you're saying that, you're saying that about the pick and roll and the give and go. It was so funny to me when in the first half, Jared was getting frustrated. He said something about Carr. I said, dude, if it was not for Carr, that Duke game, we would have lost that Duke game because he showed up big in that one. And then he's like, well, I'll give him the Duke game. And then all of a sudden, Carr started playing really good in the second half, and Jared was going off. And I was like, I thought you didn't like him. Like, it's just, I mean, I get that emotional side of fans, but I told people realistically, this Kentucky team, I mean, I really don't care how many games we lose, man. The fact of what Pope has been able to do, I call it a Frankenstein team because like all these different pieces together, this is still this team. This was their 9th real game together.
Man, yeah, we're 8-1 now.
Give us time.
Yeah, 9, and we didn't even have Butler. Like we just came back from 16 points down at halftime,
and we were down by 18 at one point,
and came back and beat them without Butler, who could be arguably, in my opinion, one of our top players or one of our best players, if not the best.
And these are comments I saw that frustrated the stew out of me. Are we better now? This is one. It says, are we better now without Cal? No improvement on offense and defense. First of all, if you think there's been no improvement, you're not watching or you just don't understand because there's been improvement. There are actually adjustments that are made, and I think that's one thing that makes me love it so much. We have adjustments, and I love it. I tell you who's in the house, baby. The Wildcats. That's who's in the house.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I'm saying. You take all these different pieces, you put them together, and what he's been able to do, it's just impressive. And then now one lady made a comment, and I really agreed with this. She said it just looks like they don't want to hustle on every play. And it did look that way in the first half. We looked sluggish. And I'll be honest, even the HC, we went over, they played Corbin last night and then went over to Hazard tonight to play Betsy Lane at 4:30, and it was like their legs were gone. You know what I mean? Like they were down a step or whatever. And I saw somebody else put, I'm seeing a beatdown, which I would agree with that in the first half. We were just getting outplayed.
I mean, let's be honest. Your math, 16 at half is basically 32 at the end of the game if it stayed the same way? Yeah, that's a beatdown.
And he said, I don't see Kentucky making the NCAA tournament this year because the SEC is tough. I get that. But how are you going to say we're not going to make the tournament? If we would have lost to Gonzaga, that would have no bearing on us making the tournament.
Mark, if you haven't realized, Kentucky fans are great because that is us. But at the same time, we're either 100% great or we're 100% bad.
And then I saw somebody else come in and say, yeah, well, Coach Cal would have lost that game by 50. So and the thing is this, man, like me and Josh were talking about this on the way home from Hazard today. He said he was talking about how KSR, one of the groups, was up there and they were at a bar and there were like Kentucky fans everywhere. I want to give Kentucky fans credit, man. They were a big shout out because they were there. I mean, and it was a hostile environment, and he said something about Kentucky fans are like, we have the best fan base in college basketball. And I said, yeah, but we can also have the worst fan base in college basketball as well. Because people want to live by their emotions. You can't react off of an emotion. I was frustrated in the first half. And I mean, we were getting outplayed in the first half, but we stepped up and they righted the wrongs. And Mark Pope's going to love that at the end of the game.
Oh yeah.
Alan, you're talking about EK. What's funny about it? I thought at one point I said he reminds me of Dakari Johnson for some reason that played for UK. Just big old dude. Yeah, there was an announcer, Robbie. I did hear that. He said the announcer said Kentucky can play in Russia, and you'd hear "Go Big Blue."
I mean, I believe it. I think sometimes our Kentucky fans hope for these long distance trips so they can have almost like a mini vacation and go. Like that's their excuse. Kentucky plays in Seattle. I guess we have to go. Let's take 3 days off from work and we'll fly on out there and kind of see the
I wish I had
scenery.
that kind of money, right?
I mean, guys, if you all want to support us, at the
Yeah, it's
bottom,
funny because that's another conversation Josh and I had today on the way. He's like, I wonder what it's like for these people that just don't have to worry about bills.
just go,
They're like,
just go. Because you were talking about KSR. Like I follow them on Twitter, like all of them. Just because they give intel. Basically,
yeah.
they basically about today's Saturday. I would say on Wednesday, if not earlier, they took off on a road trip through there to Seattle. And they stopped at Iowa, did a little like segment there, and then they stopped in Nebraska and went on and so on. Matt Jones, they had pictures of him buying a cowboy hat in Colorado or something like that. I'm like, these guys literally just go and make a week of this. That must be nice. Maybe one day Cats Chat can say, you know what? Mark and Michael are out in Texas buying cowboy boots. And as well as I do, if I'm buying them, they're snakeskin boots because I used to love those as a kid.
Well, I'll just tell you right now, you're not going to find me in cowboy boots. Them things are so uncomfortable on your feet. I feel the pain, Mikey.
Yep.
I've got 5 more years though, and I can retire. So,
those boys are on the payroll. Yes, we need help with this payroll. Cash app. There we go.
I agree, Paul. We are a Big Blue Nation. It's nice.
Yeah, we are crazy too.
Miles' voice. Let's see. I'm going down the list here. Yeah, Shane, I agree. They have the best job ever. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I have so much fun just calling high school basketball. I couldn't imagine get to call basketball at that level and travel.
Oh my goodness, it'd be so
do
cool.
All these games. That would be amazing because I enjoy. Like there are many times I get frustrated calling even high school, but like just getting to interact with players, talk to them, get to know them. Just they're my youngins, and I enjoy every second of it.
Well, that's like.
Pope's Cats are very impressive.
The wife and I, we went to the Friday game, and it was a lot of fun. We went down afterwards when Pope bought the ice cream and stuff, and all these people were hollering like, "Oh, over there's Perry came out for a while, Carr came out over in the corner," and I'm like, you should go over there and try to get autographs instead of just saying. But Tom Leach came out. We're talking about announcing. I'm like, I would have talked with him. Like, this is cool, man. Like for a living, all you do is talk about what's going on and people know you. Like that's awesome. Like why can't we do that?
Well, it's kind of what we're doing. It's just not for a living.
Yeah. Like they need a fan day where in an exhibition game where they let people do the announcing or something. We're up. Let's go.
Man, I'm still itching to get up there just to go see Trent. I still text him from time to time, just checking in with him, seeing how he's doing. And but I'm going to get up and catch a game before long. I have to.
You got to.
I'm hoping maybe over Christmas break when I get a little more free time.
The atmosphere right now in Rupp Arena and just with Kentucky basketball right now is really nice. I hate sitting up high in the arena, but at the same time, those are the crazy fans that holler. Like when we were there, we were up high, and there's people. There were 2 women that sat behind us quite a bit and to the left that kept hollering like, play defense, watch that cutter. I'm like, that they're not going to hear you at all. But then I thought, you know what? Hey, why not? You're here. You paid for it. Let's enjoy it. All right. Shane's got a lot. You can read that one.
The players are an extension of the coaching staff. Pope would run through a brick wall for his guys, and his players do the same for him. I agree 100%. And I think they responded to whatever he said at halftime because I think he would agree that they weren't playing up to par at half. Like just bad shots. You know what I mean? It was just sloppy play. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. I actually made a post on Cats Chat talking about it being a sloppy play, but for some reason it didn't post.
Okay.
I thought I don't know why. I gave the score at half, and I just put, we're playing sloppy. What are your thoughts? And I was just like, this is my opinion. And then it didn't even post. I was like, well, because I was going to go back and say, hey, we're finally picking up the tempo. We're taking better shots. We're moving the ball inside. What I love about it is showing that Kentucky is not a one-dimensional team. Because a lot of people talked about the shooting outside, the shooting outside, the shooting outside. That's all we heard about. And we've seen that we can have those bad shooting nights, and now we're learning to push that ball inside, get those screens set, and use those hands, and I love it.
Yeah, the second half, I think they showed once that, like, we were 2 for 7 from the three-point line. And, people keep saying that Pope wants us to shoot over 30 threes a game. Well, we weren't hitting. So I'm glad that the team bought into the scheme of, hey, let's go inside, or hey, let's drive the ball and kick, and won't just get our threes because we are supposed to shoot that many. So I think it showed wisdom with the players to buy into that as well. But honestly, you said twice now about what Pope said in the locker room at halftime. I don't think he yelled at them. I don't think he raised his voice or anything like that. I think he just set them in there and said, "Hey guys, we're better than this. We're not hitting from three. Let's make our adjustments. This is what we're going to do." Gave them a plan or whatever. Says this guy's beating us on defense. We know what we can do. We know what we're capable of. Let's get the physicality up and let's just meet this tempo. We're the number whatever in the world right now. Let's put it back together. Because Pope is a weird, different leader on that with his voice. Like we've heard stories where we've had Tony Delk on here with us talk about Patino's. Like, man, we didn't want to be with Coach Patino on that ride back if we lost because we knew our butts were going to get chewed. I don't think Pope's that way. I think it's completely an inspiration on what he's bringing to the table, which is completely different what we've ever seen. So I wish we could have been the fly on the wall and listened to that conversation at halftime to hear those adjustments and really seen what went on. But man,
I honestly, I
Mark.
can't quit yawning. I can't help it. It's late. I've
Yes.
even got a Monster. I was sipping on a Monster because Caldwell bought it for me on the way home from Hazard because he saw me yawning too. I don't know what's going on with me.
Well, listen, it is. I mean, we've been under 21 minutes and it's almost 1 o'clock, 2 minutes away. I just wanted to be in front of a camera talking about this win. And so I messaged Mark, said live question mark. He said, sure. So that's why we got here. But thank you for getting in here.
I wish we could see the stats from the first half.
Yes.
Compared to the stats in the second. Because I know at one point in the first half, we were only shooting 30%, maybe.
36, I think.
And we finished the game at 45.3% from the field. Like they beat us in percentage. They were at 46.5. But we only shot 28% from three. They shot 22.2%.
Mm-hmm.
We only had 7 turnovers. They only had 6 turnovers. And I was impressed by this stat because I guarantee at half we were not ahead in this category. We out-rebounded them 43-42.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were killing us on the boards first half for sure.
You see Shane's post? Matt Jones just tweeted they're having to kick UK fans out of the arena because they won't stop doing the Cats chat. Or Cats chant.
Cats chat. That's valid. Okay, actually, Mark, I found on some website here it has first half. Let's see here. Is this Gonzaga or what? Got to figure out how well they got it. Okay, this got to be Gonzaga. So they shot 54% first half. Second half, they shot 39%. They shot 0% from the three-point line in the second half. And, of course, free throws, they shot
hit 2 in overtime, though, right?
They shot 2. They made 1.
In overtime?
So yes.
I know that's not right because they hit 2. We were up by 7. They hit 2 threes back-to-back. So something's not right with those stats. Because the kid hit one from the corner, and then you had that dude that just hit that one that looked like he forced it.
Right. Okay. Sure. But Kentucky, we shot 33% from the field, 29 from three-point, and 100% from free throw. Second half, we went 17 of 32 at 53%, 28% from three at 2 of 7, and 100% from free throw. That's not right either because we missed. That's in overtime, I bet you. Yeah, 1 for 4 in overtime. We shot 25%.
I'll tell you what, another thing I was impressed with, I've been on Jackson Robinson some talking about how I felt like he was being a little soft.
Yes.
Like how he really stepped up in this one in the second half. He attacked the basket. He took over at the point guard position. 5 assists, no turnovers.
That's really big. That's really nice.
And I agree with Icon right here. Those simple layups being missed and bad shots being taken in the first half, that was killing us. Mm-hmm. And that all changed in the second half.
The fact that Travis was in and we didn't get hurt by it, I hope it lets Pope know that he can do good and hold his ground.
Yeah, he got a good look from the corner. It just didn't fall. That's what impresses me the most.
Is Butler was not there, our best defensive player. And you know what? I didn't think about it until just now. So we're talking about it. Maybe Butler not being there is the reason we had to go to that zone because we really couldn't guard them man to man or defense. So maybe missing Butler, our number one defender in the country, they say. I'm glad Pope was able to make those corrections. Let's see here. Oh, hey, Adam. Awesome. So, again, Mark, we're at 25 minutes. We didn't want to be long, but, I mean, comments are coming in. You want to stay at it?
We got 34 of you in here with us. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, put in your comments. Let us know what you think. And also be like Adam and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well.
Yes, please subscribe to YouTube.
We need 3 more to get over 200. It's killing me. But, my goodness, 34 of you guys. And counting us to 36 of us are right now at 1 o'clock talking Kentucky basketball.
And not counting the ones that are being now kicked out of the arena for chanting.
That's hilarious. No. I said be like you, Adam, and subscribe like you have. But when's our next game?
We play Colgate this week. I know that.
That'll be refreshing. But, again, Kentucky – we can't overlook them.
Well, I mean, you can't overlook anybody. I mean, you got to be good to go. Michael, we're actually at 196 subscribers.
So we lost one. We need 4 people.
4 subscribers on YouTube is what we need.
Where is Colgate University?
Toothpaste Lane, I guess. I don't really know.
The same thing. Wow.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Colgate University.
Sounds like it could be New York to me.
I'm looking. Hold tight.
Hey Siri, where's
I
Colgate
found a
University?
website.
Duke lost again too.
Who Duke lose to?
Kentucky.
Well, I know that, dummy. It is in New York, Michael.
Is it really? Man,
Hamilton, New York, yeah. Well, I appreciate that, Paul. Thank you very much, sir. Said this was a fantastic program.
We appreciate it, Paul, man.
We didn't even pay him to say that. That's what.
No. This is twice he's made us a good compliment. You know what, Paul? You don't have to give it to that Cash App down there, but we appreciate it. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I mean, I still can't get over that we were down 16, came back. I mean, obviously it's not to the same statute, but the LSU 31-point down comeback was like a super high for Kentucky fans. This 16-point comeback against Gonzaga, who was 7. Was great. Joe, let's see here. So
we play Colgate. We play Colgate on Wednesday, and then we play Louisville on Saturday.
Oh. Everybody's jumping in and tell us that they play Wednesday. Guys, I hate to say this, but we're going to be live at 8 o'clock as well instead of 8:30. So we hope you guys will be watching us on the game on TV, but listening to us on your phones or your laptops because we're
We'll have the game on somewhere too.
Yeah, but we actually may just do like a live watch of the game while we have our guest. But our guest is Kentucky starting point guard Georgia Amore for the women's team. We're excited about having her on. Mark, I didn't know how many awards that she's up for. Did you know how many that she's really up for?
Probably a lot because she's really, really good.
I mean, that's one way to put it. Let's see here. She's up for the Wade Trophy watch list, the John Wooden preseason top 50 watch list, the Nancy Lamberman point guard of the year watch list, the Jersey Mike's Naismith Trophy women's college player of the year watch, all SEC team, all SEC coaches pick, and 7th most votes in preseason associated to be an All-American.
And she's coming on to talk to us?
To talk to us, yes,
Bless
sir.
her heart. She don't even know what she's getting into. You over here going to be asking her which way she puts her toilet paper.
Yeah, I am. You know I'm going to. That's just how we roll.
How we roll. I like that. Good play on words.
Thanks. I didn't mean to, but I'll be here all day. Mark, it is now 30 minutes of our
Good
broadcast.
night, Austin. Guys,
Good night,
we appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on here with us. This is what we want. We do this pretty much every Wednesday. So
We're up to 42 now. Like, should we just stay? Like,
I mean, I'll stay as long as you want. I don't care.
Oh, I got to finish my 2K game or 2K game. But
well, I turned my Xbox off a long time ago. I was just sitting here and I had ESPN on the big screen, and I was just sitting back, kick back, watching it. And I don't know. I mean, I was about ready to go to sleep, but once that game got close, it kind of perked me up a little bit.
I can't lie. If I wouldn't have been in a party chat with you guys watching the game while we played, I probably would have went to bed when we were down at 16. Austin's in South Carolina. Like, we've got someone listening right now in South Carolina. Granted, they're from Kentucky, but, that's okay.
Yeah, well, that's cool, man.
Adam says, was it just him or was Clemson a tougher fight on and defense?
I wouldn't say they're necessarily tougher. I feel like maybe they were a little more physical, Clemson.
I think so.
They were a very physical team.
And it's not so much that Gonzaga wasn't. I think they're a complete physical team too. It's just it was almost like a more grit, tough.
That zone threw them off their game.
And there's not many. Of course, Huggins made the 1-3-1 famous for the college level, but there's not many defenses that run a 1-3-1 at the college level. So maybe it's something that some of these colleges aren't used to.
No, we got burned on that 1-3-1 a couple times though. They had a little
backdoor
drop down.
Yeah. And that's just the slides, the rotation, and how it goes. It was a good draw and play by the coach. Jason hopping in here and saying, so proud of these kids. Guys, the 36 that are still here, tell us what was your favorite play maybe in the comments or why you think we were able to come back. Me and Mark, we've talked about the adjustments as far as defense and even the playing style. We stopped worrying about the three so much. How many threes did we shoot the first half? We shot 17 threes the first half. And in the second half, even with overtime, we only shot 8. Like, I'm so glad that we made that adjustment. Hey, it ain't falling. Let's work on the drive, work on feeding the bigs, and let's go to work there. That technical against
Duke lose
Harrison, I agree.
Somebody said something about Duke.
Duke losing?
Yeah, who did they lose to?
Or did they lose in the SEC?
I think they meant to us because Duke's only 2 losses, I think, are to Kansas and us.
I think you're right. Did they play in the SEC, ACC tournament or whatever?
Yeah, they beat Auburn.
Okay, so it was
Auburn had them down pretty good, and then Duke just came back.
Yep. But yeah, I do agree that Garrison technical for that play and just screaming. It did look at that ref's angle that he looked at the player, but he didn't. And I think
it was more like he was turning around just to yell, and that guy just happened to be there.
Yeah. Now I'm sure there was a little bit of like,
in your face.
Mm-hmm. But no tech, but he got it. So, and huge win, not even having Butler. I know I keep saying that. Kentucky, beat them, and now Gonzaga. 2 D1 and top 10 rated teams Kentucky has taken down.
Yeah.
Huge for us. Because
what I love, Michael, it's getting people excited about UK basketball again. Like, there's not been this much chatter about UK basketball. Like, granted, now I know in Harlan County in Eastern Kentucky, there was a lot of chatter for the fact that Trent Noah was going. So it made everybody reinvest back in the program. Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of people were ready to just jump on and go right back over and be a South Carolina fan when Trent first said he was going to South Carolina. So I'm glad.
I thought Austin went to bed.
How it worked out. Yeah, he said they both look confused on that call. But I'm glad, like, so many people, like, I know people that have pretty much quit watching UK basketball that are fully back invested.
I know people that actually sold their stuff on the as Dad refers to it as the tell and sell, the marketplace on Facebook last year. And I mean, it is what it is. In times past, playing against any ranked seeded team in the top 25, Kentucky could play with them, but we never hardly beat them. Like, this is two big teams that we took down on neutral sites as
That's
well.
impressive. Only UK coach besides Rupp that has started 2-0 against an AP top 10 team.
Nice with the facts there. Appreciate that. We don't bring facts. We just bring energy.
Roll out the TV on wheels so everyone can watch the tournament come March, just like 96. I might need to do that.
Yes, sir. They don't even have them on wheels anymore.
Sure, I can make a math lesson over it. Like, oh, it was so funny because we was talking about the NCAA tournament, and this one guy was like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to do a probability lesson." Is when he was first coming into the high school. I was like, "Dude, we don't teach probability in Algebra 1 right now." He was like, "Oh no, don't tell me that because I want to watch the game."
You can just do stats. Like, that's math. Just
teach statistics. Just teach the lesson, then say, "Hey, while you work, let's watch some basketball."
Or you could just do that. I mean, or just give a quiz when they first get in there where they just have to write their names and turn it in, and then you're done. As long as we get past the week 1 and round, or the first week and round, I'm good. Yeah, Adam, I said that from Colt being hired. If we make it out of the first round, it's an advancement with whoever they hired as a coach compared to what we've been doing. So
I'm not even putting that pressure on him this year.
No. I'm sorry. He has to win the first round.
You give him a few years, man. Get his players in here and everything. I mean, I'm impressed with the team he's put together, Michael, but I'm saying I'm a fan no matter what. Like, some people aren't like if he didn't make the tournament this year, there's some people this ain't even better, Coach Cal, blah blah. Like,
there's always haters, man. You know as well as I do, there's always going to be people in life that have to tear people down so they feel better. I don't care what it is. We're going to give you guys a life lesson here. Guys, you cheer and love what you want to cheer and love. Don't listen to other people, because no matter what the situation is, it's not good for those people, okay? So some fans out there, we only won by what, 1 point? Some fans probably out there saying, oh, man, we should have been better. We should have won by this many points. Hey, we won. We came back and won. That's all that matters.
Just to let you know, the last time we came back from 16 points down, it was against Louisville. No, he has not. It was against Louisville, December 18th of 2004.
2004. Wow.
That's the largest halftime deficit in a win for Kentucky men's basketball history. It matched it because we were also in that game at LSU. We were 16 points down at LSU in 90. It was at 94 when that game was.
Mm-hmm.
So this matched the largest deficit at halftime for a Kentucky team to come back and win.
Awesome.
And what's crazy is we could have iced it right there with two free throws. And I think Carr's, I mean, that was late in the game and overtime. His legs are probably gone. I'm not even going to hate on him for missing those. So,
I am. But he came back and did well. So as far as the tip, so I'm happy with that. I'm sorry, guys. My phone's not even vibrate, but silent. But I'm sharing our stuff on Facebook like always.
So you're better than me. My phone stays on silent.
Oh, really? How do you trust people like that? My goodness.
I keep my phone on silent, and I just, when he missed those 2 free throws, I'm not going to lie. I did too. I was like, oh, no, this is good. Because I know my kind of luck. I was just like, they're going to hit some crazy off-the-wall shot. But what a good job that even though he missed that, he got back and caused the turnover. The same thing happened with Kerr. I will give Kerr Crease a credit in that he took a bad three-pointer that we didn't need kind of quick into a possession, and he got back and drew an offensive foul right after it. Like, I'm fine with you making a boneheaded play if you make up for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you credit where credit's due.
CJ's wanting me to play 2K with him. I said, we're live right now because, Kentucky just came back from 16 down, winning overtime. Like, hold on. So, So we're 10 minutes past what we talked about earlier, but we're almost up to 50 people. Guys, if you love this win, hear me out. If you love Kentucky's win tonight, you have to go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel, youtube.com/@CatsChatPod. If you don't, you're not a fan. I just said it. Go Big Blue, go to YouTube and subscribe to us. That rhymed almost was pretty cool there. So Kerr is not the answer. but he didn't do bad. I'm not dogging him, but he didn't do great. Perry looked fine for the time that he was in there. I do think he is a vibe. Kerr is a vibe, but we need a little more better play from him with that vibe.
I'm going to be honest, though, with the way Jackson Robinson handled himself, I think that's going to be your backup point guard when either of the other two can't play.
This was a big step for Robinson because I've dogged him socially before that I think he's more about self, and it's not fitting very well with Kentucky basketball on the team. I think this was a step forward for him as far as that team. So kudos to you. And I apologize. I won't say anything about you being selfish anymore. But early in the season, some of his threes selection were just like, hey, I got to get my shots up. Moving to the point guard today, it was not that way. He did shoot. He did score. He did shoot the most. But he made the right corrections, I think, and was good, honestly.
Hey, I did tell you about Matt Rife did a show in Lexington tonight. Did I tell you about that?
I don't know.
He was wearing a number 9 Kentucky jersey doing his show.
Nice.
Repping the Trent Noah, baby. I love it.
That's pretty good. I like it. Oh, let's see here. That 6'6" guard tonight helped him. I'm sorry. That 6'6" guard tonight helped him there with the team. Okay.
He's saying his height in the guard position really helped there, Michael.
Thank you.
Michael already struggles with the words of the English language, and it's past 1 a.m. So
hey, you got flour, and flour. You cook with flour, you grow flowers, and then you also cook with flour. So it gets tough. Or a flour for a Rex,
Gosh, that reminds me of an old joke, but I'm not going there. He said, no one can say Kentucky is only good against high school nobody teams. Like many said before, Duke came along. That's true. I mean, we beat 2 top 10 teams. Basically, the only teams that we've played that have not been kind of like practice teams, I guess you'd say. Mm-hmm. I would say Clemson, which we lost, Duke, and Gonzaga.
Oh, I'm sorry, Austin. I can't read the English language. Yeah, Clemson, who, of course, is unranked, but at the same time, they are going to be ranked. Everyone talked about how they've lost like 1 player from last year's team when they made such a run, got everyone back. So they just aren't ranked yet. They will be.
Did you see the Kentucky players waving to the Gonzaga fans that were bad-mouthing them the whole game?
Yes, I did.
Waved at them. Loved it. Man, that's just what a game. That's all I can say.
Let's see. Somebody put on Twitter, vent in the comments, but I think it was a little said there.
What is it?
Someone put vent about the game in the comments, no judging. And I'm like, you posted this way too soon, apparently. Here's a clip, and I'm not going to show all of it, but like you were talking about where they were waving to the fans, give a second. Oh, yep. Bye-bye. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
He says they was second in the SEC. Yeah, I'll give you – Clemson was an Elite 8 team last year. A lot of people forget that. And they only lost 1 player, and they picked up another guy. When you got a guy that can grab 20 boards and not get a foul, that's impressive.
That is. That's some LeBron James stuff right there. All right, Mark, it is 1:20. I am tired. We're still at 36 people, but I am ready for bed. I don't know about you.
Dude, I could do this all night.
As you yawn with the monster. The whole ACC, SEC deal, we swept them big time. Well, we showed that we are the better conference, even though Kentucky and Auburn are top 2 lost. Paul says, peace and love with you all, or be with all. Go Big Blue. We appreciate it, Paul. Thanks for jumping in here, man.
We appreciate all you guys jumping on here. The fact that we've been steady at about 38 people on here talking to us. We want you guys to jump in on Wednesday nights too. Come watch us interview Georgia more, or at least go back and watch the podcast when we post it.
Yes. Also, I'll go ahead and tell you this coming week, this Wednesday, we have Georgia Moore coming on at 8 p.m. And then next week on Wednesday is Christmas. So we're not going to do an episode. But Thursday, the day after Christmas, Cash Daniel is going to be coming back on with us and talking about the state of Kentucky football. So I think that'll be a lot of fun hearing from a former player what's going on in there with Stoops and where we'll be moving forward. So, Mark, you ready to hop off of here?
I'm ready. I think so, man. I'm getting a little sleepy.
Yes, sir. While you have a monster, I would like have a heart attack with that,
dude. Yeah, it's basically like drinking water now.
Okay, that's
I only drink one a day. It's not like I just sip on it. I don't chug them like some people.
Gotcha.
No different coffee for me.
I got you. Guys, there's 3 things that we always say at the end of every episode that are the most important things in life, but I'm going to take it one step farther. Today is now Sunday. Tomorrow, well, today, there's a church service that's open that has doors unlocked that would welcome you in. If you want to, if you live in Harlan County, come on up to Putney Bible Church or anywhere you want to go. I'm sure they'd love to have you there. But I'm going to say this. Number 1, love God. Number 2, love others. And number 3, love Kentucky sports.
God bless.